About to watch that Bruce Springsteen movie. I'm excited. Well, a little bit. I really haven't heard anything about it, so pretty excited. But I did get myself a Lando Norris monster, and depending on how good the movie is after, I get a little cigarette. Yeah, but we'll see. Have low expectations, but hopefully it's a good one. All right, just got out of the Bruce Springsteen movie. I got myself a little clip character. That one's kind of cool. It's a little Halloween design. I don't know if you can see it. Cheap as hell. So first off, I'm gonna say movie's not cigarette worthy, so will not be smoking one of those. I'll say this, it's a solid movie. I'll give it that. Not what I was expecting. It's hard to kind of review biopics because every biopic, its main job to me is get me to understand who the person this is about and the important people in their lives. That's all I request from a biopic. If I can come out of the theater knowing who this person was, whether I knew them before or after, is all it needs to do. So it did get me an idea of who Bruce Springsteen was. I'll say this, the movie definitely takes a much slower approach, and it's done differently than most biopics. Most biopics kind of give you like highlights throughout the person's lives and stuff like that, whereas this one pretty much wanted to stay to like, hey, this small section of his life from like this point to this point, that's all you're getting. And that's not a bad idea. I think, like, especially if like the person they're doing a biopic on has like so much stuff, like I think the Beatles would benefit the most from it because like their albums, they can have like just movies based off just one album realistically. Unfortunately, I'll say this, it's not my favorite biopic. I have my top 3, which is like Bohemian Rhapsody, which is number 3. There's just some editing issues and stuff like that there, but overall it's fantastic. I love Queen, so obviously I'm gonna love Bohemian Rhapsody. And then Bob Marley, One Love, was absolutely fantastic. The message, like just depicting of who Bob Marley is and what he stood for, fantastic. And then number 1 will always be Straight Outta Compton, just fantastic. I grew up with that music, so that's like my jam. And I think that's another thing when it comes to biopics. You're not gonna love a biopic unless you enjoy the music that specifically music biopics that this person's about. I don't really remember growing up with Bruce Springsteen, so of course this movie wasn't necessarily gonna hit hard with me. The things that did hit hard with me were a lot of the emotional beats and like choosing art and pushing through that, whether it's difficult or not, over the loved ones in your life, and then trying to reconnect with certain loved ones despite having a lot of difficulties and negative thoughts towards them. Obviously, I'm not going to get into major spoilers for that, but it was cool. I digged it. I was kind of hearing a couple of the audience. The audience was primarily people that seemed to be at least older than 40. Some of them were like, oh, it's pretty good. And then I heard one, as I was walking out, like, it complained the pacing that was like so slow for them, wanted to gouge their eyes out. That's a quote, by the way. But I wouldn't say it's bad, realistically. It is a good movie. I think everyone should watch it. For biopics, again, I think everyone should watch biopics because you get to learn more about this person, maybe even find out some music that you might be like, wow, this was not bad. Give it a check out. It's just, if you've seen one biopic, you've seen them all. They're more or less very similar or even have similar patterns. It's just going to depend on whether you like the music before the movie or not. So if you like Bruce Springsteen, you'll probably love this movie a lot. I liked it. I'll give this film realistically a 6.5 out of 10 just because the pacing was a lot more dragged down, and it wasn't necessarily about like the songs themselves. It was more about Bruce as a person and the difficulties he faced while writing this one specific album and the backlash and just all the turmoil that came about while making this album. So it's a good movie. It is a slow burn. It does take itself like much more serious and does dive into more Bruce Springsteen as a person. Jeremy Allen White killed it. Everyone killed in the film. I don't really think there's a bad actor in this movie. So again, check it out in the theaters. Again, not cigarette worthy. I didn't feel emotionally drained after it. So yeah, that's just my review.